Excellencies, distinguished governors, ladies and gentlemen, the chairman will shortly close this 45th session of IFAD's Governing Council. At this point, I would like to thank Mr. Wempi Saputra, our outgoing chairperson, for his valuable work. Excellency Oscar Miguel Graham Yamauchi, the Minister of Finance of Peru, as the new chair. I would also like to thank our outgoing vice chairpersons, Her Excellency Clementine Ananga Messina, the governor of the Republic of Cameroon, and our governors for the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And I also want to welcome the new vice chair. First, Mr. William Ross, the governor of the French Republic, as well as Her Excellency Donna Haifa Aisami Mada, the governor of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 2 days, we have had focused discussions on some key issues that are pressing ones for IFAD, our members, and also for the world. We are still battling a global pandemic, and its economic knock-on effects on climate change continues to be a global challenge that most severely impact the poorest and the most marginalized. Here, I would like to recall the word of Daniele Franco, the Minister of Economic and Finance of Italy, who said that climate change, environmental degradation, and biodiversity loss represent an immediate threat for natural resources as well as for the lives and the livelihood of rural people. As showcased in the first pre-GC informal webinars, we can only meet these challenges only together with stronger partnership and decisive action. Yesterday, the event on the Sahel Joint Program showed us how joint regional operations and financing can be used to bring together key players to address difficult and interlinked challenges to strengthen the livelihoods of small-scale agricultural producers, particularly women and the youth. The event on the private sector finance program was an opportunity for an in-depth dialogue with representatives from member states and from the private sector toward catalyzing investment in underserved areas through support to small-scale producers and the rural SMEs. I wanted to thank Queen Maxima of the Netherlands for her inspiring speech and will echo her call to action for the private sector to help address the 170 billion annual gap in financing the agriculture sector. In the example that she drew up in Côte d'Ivoire, it was clear how critical it is to create innovative solutions to climate finance access, particularly for women's empowerment. Distinguished governors, as we kickstart the implementation of IFAD 12, I would like to express my appreciation to our governors for approving allocations to countries based on the PBAS and the BRAM. I want to assure you that IFAD will leverage on this new financial structure to make finance available to the countries most in need. Our growing partnership with the private sector will allow us to continue to support our partner government in developing inclusive food systems while supporting the most vulnerable population to adapt to the impact of climate change, which recalls the word of Ivan Duque Marquez, the president of Colombia, who stressed the importance of, I quote, making good use of the opportunities offered by innovation and financing to achieve an inclusive and climate resilient recovery in which small producers have or will have a leading role, end quote. We will be focusing our efforts where it brings more impact, where support is needed and needed the most. In this regard, we have ensured that between 25 and 30% of our core resources were allocated to countries with fragile situations. And as agreed, 55% will be allocated to Africa. Indeed, His Excellency Aya Sayed Qayyum, the acting Prime Minister of Fiji, reminded us that, I quote, our rural communities are the front line of the front line, and that eradicating rural poverty demands a radically new approach to building rural resilience, end quote. Thank you so much, Professor Jeffrey Sachs. Again, you reminded us on the need to raise awareness on the world global challenges, the existing solutions to address them, and the critical need for adequate financing to address the needs of poorest countries. This is what we need and what we will do in 2022. IFAD will position itself at the forefront of global initiatives such as the upcoming COP27 in Egypt, the Finance in Common Summit, and the G20 to champion the cause of the rural poor and the smallholder farmers. In closing, I would like to recall the word of President of Madagascar, President Rajoelina, who said, I quote, "Let us pool our strength, our potential, and our know-how so that our countries reach food self-sufficiency and that our young people have jobs," end quote. This is the commitment, that is the essence of what IFAD stands for. I also want to express my great appreciation to Norway for its decision to increase significantly its contribution to IFAD 12. Lastly, I would also like to thank IFAD workforce for their incredible commitment for this, to this institution and to our mandate, as well as the interpreters, the organizational crew for their hard work in making this session so successful. Thank you so much all.